For more perspective on the poll in Nigeria, I'm joined by Emmanuel Ogebe. He's an international human rights lawyer and an expert in bilateral U.S. Nigerian relations. Mr. Ogebe, welcome to Africa 54 once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, now, very briefly, what's your assessment of the entire process?
Well, the process has certainly been slightly flawed in terms of logistics and organization. Nigeria needs to, get ready for showtime. We have notice about this every 4 years. That said, it has been relatively more peaceful than we anticipated. And I think that we must see it as a victory for Nigerians, not for a party, but for Nigerians.
So with a few of the problems here and there, would you also say that this is just a kind of the pain of adopting a new voting system? I mean, especially using the electronic biometric system.
Yes, certainly it is. And if we had gone with the option A4, which was where you would actually count people physically, the open ballot process where you would count people physically, we wouldn't have had to use all this technology.
Yeah.
But we're using technology to try and thwart the ability of people to forge results. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully next time all the mistakes will have been identified and they won't be repeated.
Yes.
But the tension always builds up towards the announcement of the final results.
Yes.
Are you concerned that when this finally happens, we might be in a situation that perhaps we don't anticipate right now?
Well, that's always a concern, the morning after, the evening after, and which is what we saw in 2011, where as the results were being announced, violence broke out in 12 states and almost 1,000 lives were taken. So in this situation, there are legitimate concerns. I don't understand why INEC is having to release the results at night, which allows mischief makers to be able to get out and do mayhem. I wish that they had made sure that this was done during the daytime. But certainly, this is a cause for concern. It's not the elections, it's what happens after the elections.
Yeah, but they're saying, well, they're going to let all the returning officers come to Abuja. So when they're announcing this, everybody can actually verify that these are the results from my area.
Yes.
So doesn't that legitimize the final vote?
Yeah, it does. It's good for the officials to be present. But again, this boils down to logistics. Why couldn't they have been able to bring in everyone on time? They had advanced knowledge that they needed to have all the officials present to present.
But why is it always that there's a perception of electoral officials being partisan? And these people are independent, even by the very acronym of the organization. Actually, the name of the electoral body is independent. That means it's representative. Why would anybody suspect that they would cook up these results?
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately, the history hasn't always been one of genuine independence. But under Jega, who has a reputation for integrity, the people believe that he's been independent this time around. But the thing about Nigerian politics is if the Pope Francis says today, God bless Nigeria, there are people who will accuse him of being partisan, that the way he said God bless favored one party over the other.
Yes.
But I do want to say that Nigerians are excited that for the first time they are putting stress on the government instead of the government putting stress on them. And the fact that no one knows how this will end shows that power is coming back to the people.
Since the Nigeria reverted back to democracy, do you also get the sense that this is perhaps the closest poll that we're going to witness in Nigeria?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the results right now, you have 5 states that the opposition is leading in, but you find
that is based on the polls, not the results.
Based on the results.
Speculation.
The results that were released by INEC right now.
Yeah.
5 states the opposition is leading, but numerically, the incumbent party is leading by only about 19,000 votes. That's a very significant, an insignificant difference between both parties.
Yeah.
So this is as close as it gets.
At this very hour, it's really late in the day.
Yes.
What could be done to ensure that whatever the results, Nigerians will maintain peace and look forward to their next president delivering on their promises?
Well, that's a very good question. And, one of the things I'm doing is we're trying to start something called an Organization for Governmental Accountability. And we're saying, regardless of what anybody feels about the candidates. Let's support whoever comes in and hold them accountable to deliver a good government. So I think Nigerians need to close ranks and realize we don't need to burn each other's houses. The people who died this weekend were unfortunate. No one else needs to die. And let's hold these people accountable to perform what they were elected to do.
Yeah, and if a person has a problem, of course, they can petition through the legal means in the court system. Thanks a lot, Emmanuel, for joining us and offering those insights. Now, Emmanuel Ogebe is an international human rights lawyer and expert in bilateral U.S. Nigerian relations.